I'm going to show you a product that I think is fantastic. I've already reviewed a different variant of this product here, and they sent me over this one to review. This is the Nework Smartboard. I've done the Smartboard E series. This is the P series. They're a little bit different. They separate themselves out. P series is going to be a little bit more geared towards, I'd say, like more of a professional setting, hence the P for professional. I'm assuming that's what it stands for. So it stands on its own. Regardless of what it is, these smartboards are fantastic. So what is a smartboard? Smartboard has the benefits of just being like, it's a screen, it's like a television, right? But you can plug in different devices to a TV and use it as like a presentation type thing, go through your little slideshow, that's fine. But it's not an interactive thing. The actual device here is a computer. It's a full computer. This is running Android OS 14. It's got good specs, 8 gigabytes of RAM, all that. Very nice color space on the screen, all the fixins. So what you can do here is you can, rather than just having your computer hooked up over there, like my laptop, and then just plugging it in and trying to do everything over there, you do a little presentation slideshow and then it's over, and then there's nothing else happening with the screen here, so you just stand in front of your audience and you just, any questions? And you just talk to them? No, that's not what this is here. So let's just look at the website here. We'll go over some of the specs here. Of course, we do have the E series and the P series. Here's a look at it here. You can get it with the stand, the official stand. I just mounted it to a generic one just today, just to show that you can. The E series that I had, I already did with the stand, but I wanted to mount it with just a generic stand to just show that it can support that, or you can mount it on a wall, whatever works for you. The stand that they send is much better than the one I got, but it does work. Some information here. So obviously there's a camera built in. The camera is designed to pick up exactly like this. If you have a meeting or a conference room or whatever, people in there, it's going to pick up all the individuals and potentially help you sort of like liaison or interact with other people, potentially who you're also presenting with. It does have a nice bright screen with good viewing angles. That's obviously very important if you have a screen like this that's in a smaller room. I am testing in a smaller room here and I can show you that at some point. It is touchscreen, just like, I guess, a tablet type thing, and it comes with a pen and that. So you're going to be able to kind of draw on and that kind of thing. So what is it? I mean, it's literally a screen that you can mount on a wall, have on a thing, whatever. And it's designed to bring people into a multimedia experience where you have multiple different types of interaction and multiple different types of media ongoing at one time. Okay, now here it is turned on. It's getting ready to be set up. It's asking for Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi or Ethernet plugged in. I'm going to show you that. Down here we get a lot of I/O. So we have power, and these are just indicators. USB-C, you can plug in USB-C type dongles. You can also plug in USB-C type devices. You can hook it up to like an iPad or something like that if you need to swipe through. You can hook in external media. HDMI in, so you can hook up a laptop or something like that. I will do that as well. This is USB-B. You have two USB 3.0, which is good for data or peripherals. The left side over here is where things start to get more interesting. We have our local area network, Ethernet over here, in and out, very good. We have USB 3 as well, HDMI in 1 and 2. So you can actually plug in HDMI, multiple HDMI devices, switch between them where needed. You can switch on the device itself as a source, have it hooked up to a laptop, have it hooked up to a desktop, whatever it is you do. Another USB-B, USB 3.0, and here's the Wi-Fi module. So let's pop out that there, and we'll pop in the Wi-Fi module. Make it much easier than this. Pop that in there. You can see it has alignment, and then you just click it in. And I'm going to throw the screws in, and then all of a sudden now we have access to Wi-Fi as well. I'm not going to go through the whole setup with you guys. I just want to quickly show you. It does use just standard Google, just the standard Android app, which is fantastic. I don't want some weird proprietary thing. I want something that is very standard, easy to use. Here, we know how this works, right? I logged into my Google account. You can make one custom. You can do it offline if you want. It's up to you. I just decided to log in. It just makes my life easier. And there we go. We're set up. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple apps installed on this thing here. And again, it just uses the standard Google Play Store, which is pretty sweet. So I come in here and look at this. I'm using a mouse and keyboard, setting it from further away, which is really nice. You don't necessarily have to be standing beside this thing to use it, right? You can just use it like this. So this is here meant to be a multimedia product. Multimedia was something we talked about in like the 90s and the early 2000s. It's like the most fantastic thing ever. Multimedia being multiple types of media. So when you're, for example, interacting with people back then, it was very exciting for people to talk about this. It's like, well, whatever we're doing, whatever this professional workflow is, why don't we bring in different types of media, multiple multimedia and have them all in one type of product or presentation or whatever it is, which is very good for learning, for engagement, for all these things. That's what this is. So like I said, this is a smart screen, hence the smart board, and it runs Android OS. Bring that up a little bit there. And we're running native Android. So we have access to things like the Google Play Store, right? So we can come in here. I don't know why it keeps asking me that. I've already installed a bunch of products. Let's go with the dark theme. I like that. I've already installed a bunch of apps from the Google Play Store, and they're native Android apps. So you could do whatever. You can bring in like Instagram, bring in all these different things here. I brought in some more professional type stuff, but you could do that. You could bring in, I don't know, Candy Crush, whatever it is you want to do. You can bring them in here. That's great. So that's part one, the fact that it runs native Android, right? You have access to native Android. You have all these native Android apps. I brought all these in here. Why is this cool? Well, like I said, you can normally bring in, you know, an external device like a computer, laptop, hook it up to a desktop, phone, whatever. You can plug them into some of these TVs, not always phone, but some of them, plug them into the TV, and you can have a like curated PowerPoint presentation you go through on the device. And then when it's done, I guess theoretically you could like kind of go through your laptop and like bring in some more stuff, or you can have it all on here, like all of it, right? So you can come in here and you could have that presentation, for example, on the actual screen, right? So I can go through that one. This is a really old presentation. I don't even know if this is mine or somebody else's, but you can go through the presentation here and you can present this thing to your audience. So we can go present to a meeting, right? You can present to a meeting. This will integrate into something like Google Meet. You could integrate this into that. You could present to other people over the internet. Isn't that cool? You can present on this device here. You can have, you know, mouse and keyboard type support do it. You can have the controller that goes for it, go through it and do that kind of stuff. Pretty straightforward, right? So we don't need to do too much about that. Obviously you can do that. Now, after I'm done my presentation, maybe that's not done now all of a sudden. Maybe I'm not just done the presentation. Now I want to bring people in and do some more engagement. So rather than, you know, me just standing up front and presenting something to my class, which I have done, presenting something to government officials, which I have done, or to, you know, a business group, which I have done, there's an engagement factor. So this is the type of product that would appeal towards these different segments. Someone who's teaching, university environment like I've done, or whatever environment, fantastic. If you're in a business meeting and you have your employees around you or your colleagues around you, you're engaging them with this. If you have a business and you bring in clients, you have this and you're presenting this to them. Your clients are in front of you, you're engaging with them and something, some visual stimuli, rather than just blabbing like I'm doing right now at the people. You can have some visual stimuli. So you can do your presentation. Now all of a sudden, okay, we got some ideas here. I've just been playing with it. Got some ideas here. Let's sketch some stuff out. So you can physically sketch some stuff out. You can draw some stuff in front of people. You can do all, this is just one random program I grabbed, Sketch, but there's all kinds of these type of things, right? You can come in here and you can brainstorm onto a canvas here. Brainstorm onto a canvas, not just on the internet, but you have your audience in front of you. Whoever the people you're engaging with is in front of you. They're part of this now. It's fantastic. Okay, let's continue on. Other things you could do. You could come in here and all of a sudden you could go into Sheets and you could bring up, let's just grab this one, hardware specs, right? So this is some hardware specs type stuff that I've been working with, right? This is actually someone else's, but whatever, helping them out. And you can come in here and you can engage. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can do all that kind of stuff here. Now this, I actually do have plugged in here, a USB dongle. The USB dongle could have data on it, but it can also be used as an input device. So I don't have to necessarily use my fingers, use the pen that comes with it, or that. You can come over here, and now all of a sudden, I'm engaging like this. Right? I'm engaging like this. I don't know what I wrote there, but I think I was just testing it out. So come in here and I can say, so the final plan is to sell everything because the market is up. Right? Like I'm engaging with these things. If you want to do calculations, you can do these things on the go, fly, that kind of stuff. So that's Excel, or Sheets in this case, whatever it is. You can, of course, install like Microsoft. You can install whatever you want. It's your decision. That's another thing we've engaged with. So we've engaged in a bunch of different ways already. You can bring in a document. You can edit a document if you have ideas. Maybe we're brainstorming after that. Bring up a Word document or a Google document and type in it. And then we can do it together. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a novel idea? Maybe during this presentation we were going to go into the internet here, and I'm going to show you some things, right? Or you've told me, you've said, okay, that's cool. Why don't you go and look at this? So we come in here and I go to my YouTube and I start showing you something from my YouTube, right? Or maybe I come back, I can do it on the screen there, I can do it over here. Stock market and today, right? And I can bring up these type of data and information and that kind of stuff on the fly, like right now. Here, for example, we want to talk about the stock market. I want to show you some stock market stuff on the fly. We're in a meeting or something like that. Or I want to come out and be like, we can come in here, we can say, okay, well, what about this? These guys, this is what I'm reviewing right now. And be like, oh, look, they have the cool new P series, which is something we're talking about today, right? We can do this on the go, like on the fly, in a meeting type of scenario. Like these people are sitting here and this guy's showing her and him something. Yeah. But he's able to bring up multiple avenues. And notice here, like his computer is not connected. He's doing it there. And he has 3 people in a meeting here, apparently. Look, it looks like he has 3 people in a meeting. They're presenting live to each other. That's where these things are really cool. What's happening here is we are bringing in a multimedia type experience where we're able to take what's just traditionally a screen for presenting to people in front of you, maybe a slideshow, something like that with your computer. You could do your little slideshow, go through it. And all of a sudden we've stepped beyond that, where the product itself can be self-contained. You can still use your computer if you want, but you can detach it from it. And this is a self-sustained unit. You don't need to have something else with you. Everything can be done on this, and it can bring in multiple types of media. Okay, now I do not have the best setup here, but we've already kind of got a little example. We saw those people sitting at their conference table. Imagine this. Imagine this. Picture this. Use your imagination. And let me show you something. So this is a conference room, right? It's not, it's a very small room, but let's say it's a conference room and there's people sitting around here. I'm showing them something and I've engaged with them. I'm able to show them these things, blah, 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 blah. Here is presentation, here is slides, here is this, here's that. Show them all these cool things. Get interaction from these people. Rather than just firing off some presentation slides, which are typically how, it comes when you're like teaching or something like that, traditionally in a meeting, that kind of stuff. No, you're engaging with them and potentially having them input into the product, right? There's a back and forth there. That's all cool. But there's something else cool about it. And this is where the P series sets itself apart, right? So we'll come in here, we can do a few different things here. We can go into meetings. So I already kind of alluded to it, but you can present to a meeting, right? Like you can go into Google Meet or whatever program you use, Zoom, whatever, your choice. Teams, and you can present. That's sweet. So you can have this giant canvas here. You can present your presentation, or you can show people, you can screen share. It doesn't have to be a presentation, but you can show people something. It can be interactive. You can mess around with it because it's its own contained device. It doesn't just have to be PowerPoint. You can show them all these different things over the meeting, and you can also have people here engaging with that as well. So I'm in my Calgary office, people from my department or whatever are here, or I have employees, or I have students, or I have colleagues, or I have clients. Maybe some clients come in and I'm trying to show them something or sell them something. They come in, they're sitting around here, I'm showing them all this here. They're engaging with this product. They're engaging with me, I'm engaging with them, and we're all engaging with this. That already is fantastic. Now all of a sudden we're meeting. I don't have anyone I can meet with, but all of a sudden we're meeting here and I have people that I'm meeting with also here. Right? So I can have the other people meeting here with my crew here, and we're all meeting together. We're all discussing the same presentation or the same screen share, whatever it is, and we're bringing it together. So maybe I have my Calgary office here, I have my Toronto office here, maybe I have my Toronto office here, my Shanghai office here, my New York office here, my, I don't know, pick a city. Pick a city. Wherever it is in the world, all of a sudden we're coming into each other, we're meeting with each other, we're discussing with each other. Everyone is collaborating, getting the same information, interacting with it. Imagine that. Imagine they also have one of these, right? So I'm here, for example, doing this here, and some dude in Berlin has one of these in his office there. We're all part of the same community or whatever. And it's almost like we're talking through a window, right? This is a window here. My people are here. Their people are there. We're right through each other. We're able to communicate with each other. How does this work, though? The P-Series has a 4K camera built into it with an 8-array microphone. What does that mean? Well, you can interact with the screen. You don't have to get some extra peripheral. You can actually interact with the screen. Again, this is a presentation like type of thing that I'm doing right now for you guys to show you guys what's up here and, you know, review this product. I've already like messed with this thing for a few days, to be honest. I had this for a while, but you know, I don't have anyone I can meet with right now, but that's okay. We can just pretend, we can pretend. We'll do this here. This is camera. So this would be potentially it. Maybe it's off to the side and this is my little meeting here. That's that. There's a couple other cool things we could do here. Imagine coming in here and imagine recording a meeting, right? This is recording now in 4K. So we're having a meeting here. We're recording that. Why would you do that? Well, first of all, that's cool. Second of all, you do a meeting or you do a presentation or whatever it is. And then afterwards, everyone's like, all right, now let's like break. And someone makes up like the meeting notes, like the quick notes. And then like half the stuff you talked about was missed or, you know, there wasn't as much interaction there. Maybe some of the ideas are just gone then they're gone, right? Because like they weren't typed down on paper. Maybe they weren't interpreted properly onto this piece of paper, like transcribed onto a piece of paper. Why not just record the whole thing and everyone here is now part of this meeting, we can talk to each other about it, right? That seems pretty sweet. You could do that. The other thing is, of course, if this was a meeting, like a live meeting, of course, we could have people here, maybe the boss ladies over here or whoever it is, your colleagues, your clients, whatever, you're all over here and you're presenting into there. The people who are in the other place in the world are seeing this meeting and we're all kind of discussing with each other. We're able to interact with each other on the smart screen. The fact that there's a 4K screen up there can really expand this one beyond the E-Series. The E-Series still exists, it still has the same primary benefits of it. But here we're able to expand that a lot further where you can have, for example, meetings like this and we can all interact with each other on a camera like that. We can bring each other in. Why does this matter? Let me tell you. There are other benefits, of course, too, like, you know, you can plug this in to an external type device. Like I can plug this into my laptop, right? Obviously you have the different inputs, but you can come in here and you can say, well, I want to plug this into my laptop. I'll come in here real quick, plug that in, plug this in here. Right, now all of a sudden we're on my laptop, right? I can still use my laptop as per usual. There's no problems there. You can still hook in external devices. When this product is like at rest, like say it's in a conference room or I don't know, break room or whatever it is, once the product is done being used for that small purpose, it can still be used for other things. Like you could fire up YouTube, you could have music playing on it, you can have videos playing on it, you can have background playing on it, you could have it as like a break room entertainment thing. If it's in your home, you can use it as a television. Right? You can play games on it, whatever it is. You can still use the product. You can, of course, hook in other devices. Like you could come in here. You could plug in. I could be doing my presentation on my tablet or something over here, right? So tablet, USB-C, or phone in this case. It's a phone in this case, and I'm showing you like my phone, right? I'm showing something like that. And it's like, well, this is my Dragon Ball account, right? Like this is the game that I play, and I want to show you that I have like a really high level account. And right, it's pretty sweet, right? And here's my Dragon Ball account, and like, you know, you have this over here. I can show you, I can do all this, whatever it is. Maybe I'm showing you an app that I developed or whatever it is, or I actually just want to show you this game because I feel like it, right? You can do all these things. It has all these multiple inputs. That's why it's cool. It's not just that it's like, okay, it's a TV and it can show some cool stuff. You can bring all of it into here. So it's hard for me to explain this product beyond like, this is how you should use it, because it's going to depend on what you're doing with the product. Right? There's so many people that this can be geared towards, and there's so many ways you can use it that the point of it is it can do all these different things. You can now think of a way to make this product versatile and benefit you. So now you may say, why does any of this matter, right? Why does any of this matter? Well, this is a product that I consider to be like kind of a perfect product, if that makes sense. So it has something that it is kind of designed to do. It's designed to be a giant screen that you can interact with. You can bring people in and interact with it. You can have multimedia type things going on, workflows, all at the same time. Because it has the camera, you can also have meetings, you can bring people in, and we can all kind of collaborate together. This is something that's being lost these days. I don't know why, but there's still a benefit of working with other human beings and collaborating on whatever it is that you're working on. It doesn't matter if it's a sales, if it's a business type thing, if it's an educational thing, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, bringing everyone together to work together on something like this. That is very important and very, very useful. This product is able to do, that's what it's geared to do. It also has a very obvious target audience. So it has something that it's supposed to do, and it has people that it's geared towards to do that. And it's people who would actually want something like this, right? It's not just like a random, these are people like a super niche one. No. It's doing something for a real audience who would benefit from it. So it's really good in that regard. And then the most important thing is it actually does it. It actually delivers it. Bringing people together like this, bringing them together, that's what the P series does. So the E series allows you to bring people together here in front of you into presentation where we're interacting with one another, educating one another, whatever it is, brainstorming with one another. The P series expands that, where you have this kind of portal up here, camera, microphone, bringing in other people who are not physically in this room into the room with us and bringing us into their room as well. That's what the P series here offers, and it's a fantastic product. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, so it makes sense.